The U.S. warning that Chinese hackers are positioning themselves to attack critical U.S. infrastructure.
Researchers at Fortress Information Security discovered that 90% of the products used to manage America's electric grid contained contributions from developers who said they were working in Russia or China.
We have a Homeland Security memo warning about threats to U.S. power grids. This follows attacks over the weekend.
A Department of Homeland Security intelligence memo obtained exclusively by NewsNation says an anonymous forum user called for attacks against critical infrastructure, including substations in 6 states: Arizona, California, Maryland, Nevada, Tennessee, and Wisconsin.
China's multi-pronged assault on our national and economic security make it the defining threat of our generation. The fact that PRC hackers are targeting our critical infrastructure, our water treatment plants, our electrical grid, our oil and natural gas pipelines, our transportation systems, and the risk that poses to every American requires our attention now.
The electricity grid goes down. You're back in the 1880s, pre-electricity.
If 1,000 transformers are knocked out, we'll end up with massive social disruption.
Top former energy official claims an attack on an American power grid was terrorism.
Virtually every study you'll see has an anarchistic component that leads to rioting. It is almost inevitable.
Imagine what will happen if there is no food, no power, and no money, and no transportation. Only people with guns and the boldness to go and take what they need to survive will live.
It is the whole of society that will get involved, whether we like it or not. People find it a surprise and as a result buy a radio on batteries. That is great. It is part of the package that the Swedish government is talking about. You need to have water, you need to have a radio on batteries, and you need to have a flashlight on batteries to make sure that you can survive the first 36 hours.
July 14th, New York City, early morning. It was a night of no electric power, a night of no lights, elevators, subway trains, air conditioning, traffic signals, or television.
What's going on? My mother sat me down. She said, son, when there is no light, man is reduced to animal. I began to look at people deeper than what they were showing me on the outside at age 12.
You had the feeling that if the lights went out again, that everything you had was up for grabs. Your possessions, your family, the sanctity of your space, that people who were marginal people, or even in their regular lives law-abiding people, suddenly became this crowd of anarchists in it for themselves. The Jekyll and Hyde personality came out, and people that you would never expect, the housewives.
I'm bugging out because church-going, upstanding citizens, the ones you know are teachers and doctors and in the community, they are now reduced to looters, thieves, and rioters.
One of the things that strikes you is, of course, a Walmart is a store that everybody knows, and to walk in it and see it as a free-for-all like that is, well, you can't help but laugh sometimes, even though it is grossly against the law. To see the police, though, that was a shock.
It could literally end civilization as we know it.
Cyber attack, an EMP, even a massive solar flare. They're all capable of exposing our power grid as America's Achilles heel.
Of particular concern to me are people who believe it's God's will to destroy us.
Our electric power grids are as vulnerable to cyber attack as the thousands upon thousands of businesses, companies, government agencies that have already been hacked over the last few months. It's not a question of if, it's just a question of when.
An EMP pulse is a very dangerous threat. If you're not nuclear hardened, it will shut down any digital computer that is operating in the range of the EMP.
Other countries have appointed a single champion to be in charge of protecting their electric grids.
We know what needs to be done. It's just a matter of a will to do it.
Choose Power Up. not grid down.